I'm what you would call a collector of bootleg Pokemon games. Pokemon Diamond and Jade, Chaos Black, etc. It's amazing the frequency with which you can find them at pawn shops, Goodwill, flea markets and such. They're generally fun, even if they are unplayable, which they often are. Mistranslation and poor quality make them unintentionally humorous. I've been able to find most of the ones that I played online, but there's one that I haven't seen any mention of. I bought it at a flea market about 5 years ago. Here's a picture of the cartridge, in case anyone recognises it. Unfortunately, when I moved 2 years ago, I lost the game, so I can't provide you with screen caps. Sorry. The game started with a familiar Nidorina and Gengar intro of the red and blue version. However, the press start screen had altered. Red was there, but the Pokemon did not cycle through. It also said black version under the Pokemon logo. Upon selecting new game, the game started the Professor Oak speech, and it quickly became evident that the game was essentially Pokemon Red version. After selecting your starter, if you looked at your Pokemon, you had an addition to Bulbasaur, Charmander or Squirtle. Another Pokemon. Ghost. Pokemon was level 1. It had the sprite of the ghosts that are encountered in Lavender Town before obtaining the Silph Scroll. It had one attack. Curse. Now I know that there is a real move named Curse, but the attack did not exist in Generation 1, so it appears that it was hacked in. Defending Pokemon are unable to attack Ghosts. It would only say they were too scared to move. When the move Curse was used in battle, the screen would cut to black. The cry of the defending Pokemon would be heard, but it was distorted. Played at a much lower pitch than normal. Battle screen would reappear, and the defending Pokemon would be gone. If using a battle against a trainer, when the Pokemon was representing their Pokemon would appear in the corner, they would have one fewer Pokemon. The implication was that the Pokemon died. What's even stranger is that after defeating a trainer and seeing Red receive $200 for winning, the battle commands would appear again. If you selected Run, the battle would end as it normally does. You could also select Curse. If you did, upon returning to the overworld, the trainer's sprite would be gone. After leaving and re-entering the area, the spot where the trainer had been would be replaced with a tombstone like the ones at Lavender Town. The move Curse was not used well in all instances. It would fail against Ghost-type Pokemon. It would also fail if it was used against trainers you would have to face against, such as your rival, or Giovanni. It was used well in your final battle against them, however. I figured this was the gimmick of game, allowing you to use the previously uncapturable ghosts, and because Curse made the game so easy, I essentially used it throughout the whole adventure. The game changed quite a bit after defeating the Elite Four. After viewing the Hall of Fame, which consisted of ghosts and a couple of very underleveled Pokemon, the screen cut to black. A box appeared with the words, "Many years later." It then cut to Lavender Town. An old man was standing, looking at tombstones. You then realised this man was your character. The man moved at only half your normal walking speed. You no longer had any Pokemon with you, not even Ghost, who, up to this point, had been impossible to remove from your party through depositing it in PC. The overworld was entirely empty. There were no people at all. There were still the tombstones of the trains that you'd use Curse on, however. You could go pretty much anywhere in the overworld at this point, though your movement was limited by the fact you had no Pokemon to use HMs. And regardless of where you went, the music of Lavender Town continued on infinitely. After wandering for a while, I found that if you go to Diglett's Cave, one of the cuttable bushes that normally blocks paths to the other side is no longer there, allowing you to advance and return to Pallet-type. Upon entering your house and going to the exact same tile where you start the game, the screen would cut to black. Then a sprite of a Caterpie appeared. It was then replaced by a Weedle, then a Pidgey. I soon realised as the Pokemon progressed from Rest to Blastoise that these were all the Pokemon I'd used Curse on. At the end of my rival's team, a youngster appeared, then a Bugcatcher. These are the trainers that I had cursed. Throughout the sequence, the Lavender music was playing, but it was slowly decreasing in pitch. By the time your rival appeared on screen, it was little more than a demonic rump. Another cut to black. A few moments later, the battle screen suddenly appeared. Your trainer sprite was now that of an old man, the same one as the one who teaches you how to catch Pokemon in Viridian City. Ghost appears on the other side, along with the words "Ghost wants to fight." You couldn't use items, and you had no Pokemon. If you tried to run, you couldn't escape. The only option was fight. Using fight would immediately cause you to use strength, which didn't affect Ghost but did chip off a bit of your own HP. When it was Ghost's turn to attack, it would simply say dot dot dot. Eventually, when your HP reached a critical point, Ghost would finally use Curse. The screen cut to black a final time. Regardless of the buttons you press, you were permanently stuck in this black screen. At this point, the only thing you could do is turn the Game Boy off. And when you played again, New Game was the only option. The game had erased the file. I played through this hacked game many, many times, and every time the game ended with this sequence. Several times I didn't use Ghost at all, though he was impossible to remove from the party. In these cases, it didn't show any Pokemon or trainers and simply cuts the climactic battle with Ghost. I'm not sure what the motives were behind the creator of this hack. It wasn't widely distributed, so it was presumably not for monetary gain. It was very well done for a bootleg. It seems he was trying to convey a message, though it seems I'm the sole receiver of this message. I'm not entirely sure what it was. The inevitability of death? Pointlessness of it? Perhaps he was simply trying to morbidly eject death and darkness into a children's game. Regardless, this children's game has made me think, and it's made me cry.